If you are watching this on PureHer, welcome, my love. Today we are opening a door into one of the most confusing emotional experiences women go through. Why do men suddenly pull away? Why does a man who seems so warm, so consistent, so excited to talk to you, suddenly turn quiet, distant, unpredictable? Before we begin, make sure you subscribe to PureHer so we can continue to explore the emotional dynamics that every woman deserves to understand. This channel exists to give you clarity, confidence, and power in your relationships. Let's begin with the emotional reaction that hits you first. When a man pulls away suddenly, your body enters a state of alert. Your nervous system reacts before your mind does. Your thoughts become rapid. Your anxiety rises. Your insecurities whisper old fears into your heart. Did I do something wrong? Did he lose interest? Was everything fake? This is a natural reaction because women emotionally connect through communication, through consistency, through presence. So when a man withdraws, it feels like emotional abandonment, even if he has no intention of abandoning you. But here is the truth most women never hear. His distance is rarely about one moment. It is rarely caused by one text message. It is rarely connected to something you said. Instead, men withdraw due to emotional patterns they are unaware of. Patterns created from childhood, from past relationships, from society's expectations, from their own fear of intimacy. Men were raised with one dominant message. Don't feel too much. Don't depend too much. Don't express too much. So when they meet a woman who brings out real emotion in them, something inside them panics. Not because you are wrong, but because what they feel is new, strong, and unfamiliar. Many men do not know how to hold emotional intensity. So instead of moving closer, they step back to try to understand what is happening inside them. It is not logical. It is instinctive. It is the only emotional strategy they learned. And this is where your misunderstanding begins. You see his silence. You feel the shift. And you assume the worst. But in many cases, his silence is not rejection. His silence is emotional overwhelm. There is something else you must understand deeply. When a man begins to care, truly care, he enters an internal conflict. Part of him wants to move closer to you. Part of him fears losing control. Part of him imagines a future with you. Another part of him questions if he is ready for commitment. And his instinctive response is distance. Not because you scared him, but because his feelings woke up something inside him that he does not know how to regulate. This is why men often behave inconsistently in the early stages of emotional connection. One day he is all in, full of affection, thoughtful, present. And the next day, he seems distracted, cold, unavailable. It has nothing to do with your worth. It has everything to do with his emotional regulation skills. And most men were never taught how to regulate emotions, only how to avoid them. Let's go deeper. One of the biggest reasons men pull away is the fear of expectations. When a man realizes that you are not just another woman, that you are not playing games, that you are emotionally genuine, that you are stable, valuable, self-aware, he suddenly feels the weight of responsibility. Because high-value women trigger self-reflection in men. He starts asking himself, am I ready for a woman like her? Can I be consistent? Can I show up emotionally? Can I match her level? And if he doubts himself, even a little, he steps back not because he wants to lose you, but because he fears failing with you. Men fear disappointing the woman they admire, more than losing the woman they don't care about. Another reason men pull away is the loss of emotional momentum. In the beginning, everything feels exciting, new, fast, energetic. But when the relationship reaches a stable phase, when real intimacy begins, some men freeze. Why? Because excitement is easy, but consistency is hard. Anyone can flirt. Anyone can send cute texts for a few weeks. But not every man can sustain emotional effort. Immature men love the chase. They love the high of pursuit. But once they get your heart, once they feel the bond forming, they do not know how to transition from romantic adrenaline to emotional partnership. So they withdraw. Not because they don't like you, but because they don't have the emotional skills to continue. Another reason men pull away is emotional projection. He begins to imagine what you expect from him. He assumes you want more than he can give. He assumes you want long-term commitment. He assumes you want clarity. And instead of talking about it like an emotionally mature man, he chooses avoidance. Avoidance is the emotional home of an unhealed man. But here's something powerful. A man's distance reveals his emotional capacity. Some men only have the capacity for shallow connection, quick highs, short-term attention, and when the emotional depth increases, they retreat. Other men do have the capacity for emotional depth, but they need time to adjust, time to process feelings, time to control their fears, time to understand whether they are ready to love in a mature way. This is why his return is more important than his withdrawal. Anyone can pull away, but only a man who truly wants you comes back with clarity. Let's go even deeper. Another major reason men distance themselves is the activation of unresolved emotional wounds. Women process trauma through expression. Men process trauma through silence. So when you come into his life with warmth, softness, and emotional authenticity, something inside him wakes up. Something he has avoided for years. If he was abandoned, your consistency may feel dangerous. If he was betrayed, your honesty may feel suspicious. If he was criticized growing up, your high value may trigger deep insecurity. A man who has unhealed wounds often misinterprets love as danger. He does not trust the safety you bring, not because you are unsafe, but because he has never known safe love before. Another reason men pull away is the fear of losing independence. Men have been taught that commitment equals sacrifice. So if I get close to her, will I lose my freedom? Will I lose myself? Will I be trapped emotionally? This fear is especially strong in men who never had emotionally healthy relationships. Some men also pull away because they never intended to build something serious. Not because you aren't valuable, but because they are emotionally casual. They enjoy the closeness you bring, the softness, the feminine warmth, but the moment they sense that your heart wants something deeper, they retreat to avoid responsibility. As painful as it feels, his retreat is clarity, because rejection from the wrong man is protection for your future. But there is one more reason women forget. Men also pull away when they genuinely like you. Yes, a man can distance himself because he is falling too fast, because he feels something powerful, because he is afraid of messing things up, because he is trying to stabilize his emotions before stepping fully into your life. This type of man usually returns with more consistency, more intention, and more emotional stability. Distance is not the problem. The way he returns is the truth. And the truth always reveals everything. So what should you do when a man pulls away? The answer is simple but powerful. You stay centered in your worth. Not reactive. Not panicked. Not desperate. You breathe. You observe. You allow him to reveal himself. Because distance does not destroy real connection. It exposes weak ones. A man who is serious about you will return with clarity. He will message you with intention. He will show emotional consistency. He will take accountability for disappearing. He will show effort without being pushed. A man who vanishes without explanation is doing you a favor. He is removing himself before he disrupts your peace, before he wastes your time, before you invest more than he can reciprocate. When a man pulls away, replace fear with observation. because his behavior during distance reveals his character, his emotional maturity, his priorities, his vision for you, and his ability to love you in a healthy, consistent way. Do not chase him. Do not shrink yourself. Do not beg for clarity. Do not over-explain. Do not perform for a man who is uncertain. You are not trying to convince someone to choose you. You are allowing the right man to recognize your value. So remember this, my love. A man pulling away is not a loss. It is a filter. It filters out the men who are not ready. It filters out the men who are emotionally unavailable. It filters out the men who are wrong for you. And PureHer will always remind you, the right man does not run from your softness. He rises to meet it.